is gonna have to change.
Yeah. All right, let's just take these off.
Okay.
Oh.
Again?
Come on, look. Let's just go off and
Okay,
change.
let's just change and come back.
Not again. Hey. Stop
copying me.
Stop.
Stop.
Okay.
Okay.
Look,
Okay.
one, two, three, go.
Bananas.
Squid.
Squid.
Cupcakes. 11.
7.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now that that's over, we can finally get into our episode. Today, we're going to be talking about movies with the same or similar plots. Which ones did it worse? Which ones did it better? And which ones were, well, the same?
Okay, but we are still dressed the same. I think we should maybe take off another layer.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. It's fine. Just one more time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Huh. A shirt for our biggest fan.
Yeah.
It's good enough.
Good enough. Well, let's see who actually did it best.
Roll that intro. So, what movie do you want to watch?
I don't know.
Do you want to do a quote off? Last quote wins.
You come to my house on the day my daughter is to be married and ask for a quote off?
You have a daughter?
Yes?
Say hello to my little friend.
I am Iron Man.
I am Batman.
My name is Arrigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
How could I kill your father if I am your father? That is all. Tis but a flesh wound.
You shall not pass. Great Scott! That's the perfect thing to watch!
And wasn't that a lovely intro? Now introduce yourself.
Well, hi there. My name is Tristan Weisler. I am a noted real talk enthusiast, and I'm glad to be on to talk about some of my favorite gritty, similar movies.
Yeah. Okay. Let's introduce the movies and their concepts. Then we are comparing RoboCop to Upgrade.
Will do. Yeah. Well, these two movies both have a special place in my heart. Growing up, I was a big fan of RoboCop. Like most families, that was one of those movies where even though there was that higher level of violence, the parents were like, it's like a classic. My kid can see this.
Yeah, my dad made me watch the updated version, which apparently isn't as good as the classic, but apparently the same storyline. It gave me nightmares and also made me not eat peanut butter for like 2 months.
Yeah, the original RoboCop has much more of a kind of classic sort of 80s vibe. It's very much similar to movies like Terminator, Predator. It kind of has that like 80s actiony vibe, but it covers a lot of the same themes and topics that right now we struggle today with in modern society. Those being artificial intelligence, the line between man and machine, and
police brutality.
And that's another big point, is that each movie kind of takes a different light on the issue. While RoboCop certainly is no endorsement of the system or the police, the hero of RoboCop is a police officer, Murphy, who suffers a brutal attack by these gang members who leave him like just a bloody mess. And there's no way we're gonna save him, but with this new technology and machines, they're able to bring him back. And there's iconic scenes where there's like this woman who's about to get attacked by this creep in the alley, and RoboCop shows up and shoots him in the jewels, and then he has this awesome side leg holster where his leg opens up and his instrument appears, and it's really fun, cheesy movie, but in the end, RoboCop is the good guy. He's the hero, and he has to take on. He fights corruption, and he fights the system, and he also fights these comically evil. They kind of reminded me of the bad guys in Home Alone, but
Yeah.
if they had sniper rifles that shot like nuclear bombs, which was very crazy for the time, especially. So. That for a long time that was my standard of like a cyber enhancements like movie. But then I had I like to follow some indie film YouTubers, and one of the recommendations was for this movie Upgrade. It was an indie film, lower budget, and it was really the big hype around it was kind of like a modern twist on RoboCop. And
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I like RoboCop. Let's do this. So I find this movie, I check it out, and this is like the modern artsy interpretation of RoboCop, and I was so in for
Could
it.
you at least like give a synopsis? Spoiler warning, though.
We'll do
ahead
it.
for that.
Spoiler warning for Upgrade. Well, in this movie, our hero is just he's a loving family man. He's got a wife, and they're out for like a drive, and it's a future where they have self-driving cars. That's a big point. Is that
Yeah.
there's an accident and their AI in their car goes like haywire, and they get attacked just like in RoboCop, and the wife gets killed, and is that okay to say?
Yeah.
She is no longer alive, and he's like, no, I need to, he's like he's horribly depressed because he also gets crippled,
Yeah.
and he cannot move, he cannot fight back, and he has to live his life, is dealing with this, and there's no justice, there's and it's all like this dystopia, it's and all of a sudden he gets reached out to by this like high tech like Bruce Wayne like millionaire type that like, oh, we've got this thing that can help you, and they put in this microchip like this called the STEM chip into his brain, and at that point like he becomes he gets to control his body again, but he's like super strong, and there are these crazy action scenes where the camera is like rotoscoped on like his body, so it's like as he moved he would constantly remain as the center of the frame unmoving as these like wild set pieces were going on. But at the end of the movie, the twist is that it wasn't the billionaire and this AI is in this chip that's helping him, do all these things. It's helping him move. He's like talking to it. And at the end of the movie, we realized that it was not the billionaire that reached out to him. It was the AI trying to like evolve itself and trying to like use him for its own gains. And the AI is what caused the self-driving cars to have the issue in the beginning of the movie, which is why he gets crippled in the first place. And it's like,
Okay.
and wow.
So basically, like the updated version of RoboCop, where you find out that the organization was the one that blew him up and did all this so he could become the perfect RoboCop, and then he ends up destroying them. So yay.
Yes. I just was rambling there, but yeah, both movies cover a lot of the same ground. There's a list here. Some of the big ideas are this dystopian future. Both worlds kind of remind me of like Gotham. They're like this like bigger, this like city. It's like there's a lot of strife.
Futuristic Detroit.
Yes, exactly.
Or technically, Gotham is New Jersey, so I hate that fact, but it's true. Gotham is in New Jersey canonically.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
very interesting. No wonder now I see where the inspiration for the Jokers come.
Jersey Shore.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm a Snooki on the Jersey Shore. But it's so both movies kind of have that in common. Other aspects is the use of technology as a dominant force. Both movies are like built around the idea of like this conflict between humanity and technology, and it's all that's like a timeless issue, but especially now in our modern day with ChatGPT and other AI programs becoming so
That
popular.
makes sense. Did he also, because like I know the hero of RoboCop did struggle with losing his body parts and viewing himself as less human because of the loss of limbs and becoming robotic. Did he also struggle with not feeling as in control because of the AI?
It's funny because the one of the twists is that because he's crippled after the accident, he feels that like that before the introduction of the AI. So he feels that lack of control with his body because he can't move and he was dealt with this accident. So when the AI gets introduced, he kind of has like this power trip where he's like, I have control again. But as the AI begins, as the plot begins to unravel, and as the AI's manipulations begin to become more relevant and prevalent throughout, he begins to like question the control of his body. And at the end of the movie, when he is trying, it does not have a happy ending. He is like, if I remember correctly, he is just like laying there on the floor as the AI just like, I'm done. I don't need to help you anymore. And he just leaves, and he's just stuck there, and it's just brutal. And you're just like thinking like, wow, man, I wish this was RoboCop right now, and he was walking off into the sunset. But no, there is no happy ending in Upgrade.
Yeah, only the original RoboCop walks off into the sunset. The other one, I think, dies because of gang violence, and then also confronting this evil organization. So, also, original RoboCop did it best.
Yes, yeah, and then other ideas in the film are the idea of control and free will. Like in RoboCop, we do see that like the criminals that maim him in the beginning of the movie have direct ties to the evil corporation. Like we like supplying them with weaponry and stuff like that, and so we can kind of see this similar plot point brought back up in Upgrade through the the idea of this like this AI kind of like pulling all of the strings behind the scene. Both kind of lends the force or lend credence to the idea of corruption and who can you really trust and that kind of stuff.
That's good, I'd say. Overall, well, that was a great compare. Which one do you think did the concept best, though?
That's a really good, strong point. I think when it comes in terms of the conceptual ideas, I just think that Upgrade is a much more gritty and realistic take. Even though I say realistic as a stretch, but realistic. But RoboCop is a much more like. Because, at a certain point, I feel as if you need both. You cannot just, like, somebody who will win because they're the most depressing and the real. It's like, dang, I really don't want to, like, keep talking. But RoboCop shows that even though he has, like, no control of his body left, he is still fighting on. And it's, like, that human spirit. We can really, like, see the big distinction between these two movies is the idea of the human spirit. And in RoboCop, the human spirit is unbreakable, and that is what allows him to succeed in the end. But in Upgrade, it didn't even matter because he was set up to fail, and it was just like an exploration of futility and frustration, and it's a really powerful, I believe, a powerful movie. However, I think both movies work well as an action flick with a gritty setting and honestly just a great justice and revenge tale. I think that the idea of, because in both movies, our protagonists go back and they brutally destroy those who have wronged them. But in RoboCop, he's doing it as a police, officer correcting criminals, where in Upgrade, he's just a guy who was like throwing people like through walls and buildings.
Yeah. I would say, I think overall, I have a soft spot for RoboCop, and in that way, I'd say Human Spirit wins, just overall for the story arc, but I think that Upgrade would probably be the better option because it's more realistic in the part of AI in this scenario.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's all I got. I have to highly recommend these two movies. Maybe the only critique, I think RoboCop is well paced, it's super engaging, I think you could show it to anybody. Upgrade, a little slow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's cut to ad now, and after that, you're gonna find out if me or Ben know more about movies.